As a bird call. Bird call.
Bird call. Here we are. Say hi, San Martin.
Hello, everybody. It's me, San Martin, and I am here at the Back Alley Wine Bar in the famous downtown. Off the Whiskey Row, but we're in the Whiskey Row Alley, so it's almost just as famous. But we are going to talk to a couple people that you're definitely going to want to know about, and also help out. With that being said, we'll see you next time.
No, but I mean, it's like, patina now. It's patina.
It's patina. I'm patina. Look at my beard. It's patina. It's beautiful. Okay, guys, we are here once again. We're taking care of business, but we're also taking care of a glass of wine. And we're usually going to start it off with a little salute to everybody. This is for being alive and being present and understanding that life is always pleasurable if you allow it to be. And this is the rules. Once again, if you're drinking wine out there, you guys are going to want to go ahead and aerate. They call it aerating it. You want to sniff it. And then when you sip it, you sip it all over your tongue so you guys can go ahead and get the full flavor and the effect of drinking a glass of wine. Or you guys just go ahead and drink it up and have fun. You know what it actually does for you? It makes you feel good. No matter what, you could always have a glass of wine and it would turn the day upside down.
Well, this one makes me feel like summer.
Frown upside down.
It's summertime.
Summertime. After it was snowing yesterday, did you guys see the snow in Williams? Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so this is one of those crazy moments where our weather is definitely doing this, doing that, doing this, but it does a lot of crazy things to us and actually our drinking habits. But you know, obviously we're in Bob Chronicles, so it doesn't really matter. We just have a glass of wine. So with that being said, we like to go ahead and cover a lot of things that are happening here in Prescott, Arizona. We also like to go ahead and talk to people that are doing amazing things in Prescott, Arizona. So without further ado, co-host, tell us what we're doing here today and who we are talking with.
We are celebrating the amazing accomplishments of the Yavapai Humane Trappers and Animal Search and Rescue. We have Katrina Karr. And we have Toby Frost.
Toby Frost. And we have Rochelle.
Hey, back again.
Yeah. So for some crazy reason, you're probably going to hear a bunch of bird calls only because she was like, me and my daughter, we're doing this bird call thing. And I'm like, we could go ahead and do that all day long. So anyways, I'm so sorry. But this is amazing. I've been hearing nothing but great things about your guys' organization skills. So tell everybody who you are and what makes you famous.
All right. Well, I'm Katrina, and I am the president founder of Yavapai Humane Trappers. We have an awesome village. It takes a lot of people to run it and a lot of people to support it, and everybody's amazing. And we are an animal search and rescue, and we're the first in this area. And we capture dogs and cats and horses and pigs and that nobody else can capture. So we get called in from all over, even law enforcement, animal control, all over Arizona calls us in, and we just rock and roll and we save lives.
So you're really, I mean, everybody's the heartbeat, but you were the one to get this on its tracks, yeah?
Correct.
What brought you to making the decision to start this?
I was on Lost Pets of Northern Arizona. It's a big lost and found page in our area. And I used to help with lost animals in my area in Chino Valley. And one day in 2016, there was a German Shepherd that got away in Diamond Valley. Her name was Bella. And she was out there for months, and there were sightings, and then she just totally disappeared. And then 3 months later, she's popped up, and she was living down in Lynx Creek, and where Sam's Club used to be. A man that worked at Sam's Club when that was open he worked the graveyard shift, and he used to see a German Shepherd running the parking lot scavenging for food at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and he posted her. And that's where we connected that it could be Bella, and she had been out there for 3 months, and it just kind of went from there, where we were able to get a trap loan to us from Prescott Valley Animal Control. And 3 days later, we had her, and it just started from there.
So really, like, that support and being able to collaborate with the local law enforcement and other community people in our community are what make this possible to communicate, and you tie it all together by showing up and really having the supplies to capture safely.
Absolutely. We're boots on the ground, but it's like Prescott and this area is an animal loving area, and we can't do it without the community, like with sightings and posting, and it just starts from there.
And where's the primary flow for that, just to tell everybody what the primary points of interest are to gain that information, to share that information. I found a lost dog. What do I do?
You always want to contact Yavapai Humane Society or Chino Valley Animal Shelter. Those are the two main ones in Yavapai County. Then you have the Verde Valley as well. But you always want to contact them, make a found report, post on social media, Facebook. You can post on Craigslist, and you could also put found flyers up.
But what about your Facebook and your websites? Are those avenues too?
Absolutely. We do found and lost reports on our website. I mean, on our Facebook page.
The Facebook
and the group. They got a group too.
I'm gonna throw this up there so everybody can see the Facebook and the group. So YavapaiHumaneTrappers.org and Yavapai Humane Trappers Animal Search and Rescue page or group, both on Facebook.
Correct. Yes.
So when you actually find the person, or the person that sees the dog sighting or whatever, I mean, at that point in time, you're like triggered. We got to find a place for this dog, or we got to go find that dog. We got to do things for this dog, because obviously the dog needs somebody. And at that point in time, educate us a little bit. Would you rather them call you, or the places that you discussed, the shelters, or the police department's dog catcher? Like, is there a better way to approach this?
I mean, I imagine people traditionally only do one or two of whatever suggestion.
Yeah, you call it
right? What are the? Is that what?
Yeah, animal
what
control.
is the best route?
Yeah.
It's really so there's a lot of dogs that do walk themselves. We do more of a specialized capture, that animals that are not catchable, hand catchable.
So you're almost the second line of defense, although you'll always be there. You really do the hard stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of dogs roam. They're allowed to roam. And so we, if they're not catchable, that's when we come in. If animal control can get there, because, they're there, they're on duty. They could probably make it there faster than we can. And so, and even the person that's posting, if they can hand catch the dog, please hand catch the dog, because, we don't want it running into the streets. And,
right.
There's just so many things that can happen,
Yeah.
But if the dog's not catchable, then that's when we go in.
Got it. So first line of defense is call, animal control, the Humane Society, those two. And then if the dog's just at large for a little while, then we call the bounty hunters.
Yes.
No bounty hunters. There's well, since it's actually started, I mean, because I feel like the Northern Arizona pet thing has only been around, 5 years, 4 years? How long has that page or group been around?
Our group?
Yeah.
The Northern Arizona Pet
how you started?
Lost Pets in Northern Arizona. I believe Melanie Underwood started it in 2015.
Right. So since then, it's actually giving you guys an opportunity to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's a nonprofit organization where it's just like, this is something that is actually really cool. So how many pets do you guys have in the adoption phase as of right now? And I mean, I guess this is what brings you in.
Oh yeah. So who are you?
Yeah, this brings you in, because obviously this is a big task. When you guys find animals and they don't have a home, or they're abandoned or whatever, I mean, ultimately, if nobody's looking for them, then where do they go? So
Right.
I guess that's what happened.
And
with you.
that's why we created that safety net. And in 2019, Katrina and I got together, and she's the pro trapper. I mean, she's amazing what she can do on trapping and luring an animal in and capturing them. But it met with a bump when there wasn't an owner at the end of the line who said, "That's my animal, I want it back." And so she started fishing around looking for like humane societies and shelters that would take them, but that's a limited resource. So we got together, and that's when we built the 501c3. We are a legal nonprofit. And then I built the foster adopt side, so the animals that were homeless could then have a resource for getting vetted, getting spayed and neutered, getting their vaccines current, and getting up for adoption.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of completed the circle, because the owners are going to go to Katrina and say, "Oh my gosh, you just found my animal. I'm so grateful." And then there's the ones that no one's saying, "That's mine."
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're not like, I moved away and I left my dog. Sorry, I'm
Do
not a
we,
nice
do we have a
guy.
count of
Right.
how many animals do you guys take in a month? Or how many you guys trap within a month?
It's so variable, but we do about 400 a year at this point.
Okay. That's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
and out of that 400, how many of them are abandoned?
Well, most of the 400 are the ones we bring into our system.
So those are the ones where
So you
people
may
is
be
like-
trapping and finding more than the
More,
400, but the
yeah.
400 is what's passing through your doors essentially to find homes for.
Right.
Oh, man, that's insane, dude.
I know.
I mean, I guess the biggest like call to action today, because we obviously established that, like, you know, this is the reason why you're here, to go ahead and get a word out. But I think the biggest word is if you can't house an animal, don't get an animal. Just leave. Don't do that.
Well, I
I mean,
think
but-
there's another lesson here, and it's my kids and I have spent many years. I kind of grew up doing it too, which was finding that litter of kittens, getting them off the street, getting them
Right.
fixed, and then sometimes they go back to where they were, but at least they're fixed and they're not continuing the problem. Some of them are great mousers, so they're nice to have around occasionally, and you know, those outdoor cats that you don't really own. But participation. You know I've messaged Katrina quite a few times. Been like, "There's a dog in the loose and I can't catch him," you know. But participation. I think a lot of us get busy, and we don't focus on that. But we have an amazing community. We have one that comes together and likes to support each other. And I think that's why you find the networking to be so supportive of a business model that's really truly based on word of mouth. But that's the lesson is participate, show up. If you see a dog run across the street while you're driving down the highway, well, that thing's not supposed to be there.
Mhm. And it's like Katrina said, unless they're self-walking.
Well, I had not heard that before.
I like that. We have a cat and we have a dog, but the cat is like so free floating. He's just like, dude, I'm in, I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow morning. You know,
Right.
and he's cool. Like he goes and comes back, and you're just like, I wonder what he does all night. And he's 100% a hunter, so I'm pretty sure he's hunting gophers. And I'm like, that's so crazy how a dog to a cat is like, you know, free roaming, like you were saying, walking himself. Go do your thing, buddy. We'll see you in a little while. But it's weird because dogs seem to have a little bit more of a it needs a human next to them, right? I mean,
They're more
'cause-
like children. Cats are more like teenagers.
Good synopsis.
All right. I got a joke on that one, but I'll save it for later. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the second half of our little show. And sometimes what we want to do is educate you guys about wine. And the reason why we do is because we're here at the Back Alley Wine Bar, downtown Prescott, Arizona, where you can go ahead and get all of the great wine that's out there. As far as Arizona wines, base wines, they have a great collection here. So you guys definitely want to come out here. But, you know, I've been hearing all these things where it's a great place to go ahead and have music, to come and have a little bit of food, come and grab a glass of wine and just enjoy the atmosphere.
I think you get a free charcuterie board.
If you buy a bottle, I read it. She was
Yeah.
redoing the sign over here, and it says free charcuterie board if you get a whole bottle. So I don't know, if you guys haven't been here, you have to definitely check it out.
And
This place is
speaking of-
amazing.
This is available by the bottle right now, soon to be by the glass, but it's the Peak Pool.
Okay, so when she was actually describing the reason why it's called pig pool is because it's actually for pecking, you know,
It's the hens.
chicken. Yeah, and as Katrina, she's a fan of the roosters. The roosters.
Yeah.
And there's one on the actual front of this. So, anyways, the reason why it's actually bent down there is because it's picking at the floor. I don't know if it's made from the stuff. I ain't gonna go too far.
No, we can talk about what it's made from though, because it's actually really cool. This, I mean, it's clearly looks like a white wine, but it is actually
Which is a
rosé.
summery drink right there, guys.
Yeah, it's actually rosé. So the grape that is actually the Peak Pool Nor. So it is a dark skinned white grape.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. It tastes really freaking phenomenal. And like you said, it feels like it's ushering in summer.
Yes.
After a day of like the worst weather that we could have possibly had. I mean, the days before that it was like 75 and I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden I knew, because I, obviously cover a little bit of the weather. I was like, oh my gosh, one day of just like horrible, like let's hang out. But I actually really enjoyed yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, okay, let's do a little work at home on the couch. Okay, nap time. It was perfect. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I kind of love those days because it feels like a break. I don't know why I feel like that, but I think Prescott is really prone to that because we have so much sunshine here. And when the weather does come, you're just like, I can hunker down. I can feel this. So I kind of like that. But anyways, long story short, this is the place to be if you guys are in need of some wine. And if you guys are not really a wine drinker, there's still beer here too for you beer drinkers. And also they got those ciders here too. So that's kind
And the live music. I mean, I see all sorts. Everybody comes, whether you are a
Games.
drinker, whether you're not. You've got games, you've got live music. It's just a fun
You
down
guys,
home
you guys want to
spot.
play a little bit of a game real quick? Let's
Oh,
play it.
boy.
Let's play it. This is a
Blues.
okay. Listen. I'm gonna do one that's actually something that we could possibly really get into. I mean, most of these are like.
Is it about animals though?
Yeah, we
Can
should
you
do
make it about
something.
animals?
No.
Just pretend it's about animals.
No.
What is the craziest animal rescue?
There we go. Let's do that instead. I'd rather talk
I
about
want
that.
stories.
Okay. You know what? Forget about the game. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the craziest catch that she's ever had to get into.
Tell
Come
us
on.
the wild.
Were you like Indiana Jones? I mean, was one of those like finding the lost ark? I mean, what was it?
I think the one recently was on the Gallup and New Mexico Arizona border. There was an accident where a car rear-ended a semi, and there was 4 healers. There was 3 healers and 1 small dog involved and a possum, and they were able to catch 2 of the dogs and the possum, and then 2 of the healers were eluding them and stuff. And I had went up there and we had to climb up this big old mountain. I mean, it was just like soft sand, and we were literally digging our fingernails into the ground, climbing up to the top. And as soon as we got up there, we stood up, we looked at each other, we looked over, and both the dogs were just right there. And we were like, but it was crazy because it was right on the interstate. Everybody was looking at us passing by. But yeah, I had sand underneath my fingernails. I had it in my boots. I mean, it was crazy. But we were able.
Vibrating.
I think that's me. I've turned it off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's still noisy.
It's still gonna vibrate. I was like, vibration. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a squirrel.
So that was so exciting.
When you
getting
guys
those
when you
dogs.
guys get up on that hill, what happens? You guys eye contact. Then what?
The dogs, they kind of backed away from us. One took off. The other one kind of went a couple hundred yards away, but was looking at us. So we tied our traps to a rope, and we pulled them up there, and we set the traps, and we got one automatically. It took about maybe 5 minutes after we set the trap, and then the other one was about 45 minutes later.
Yeah, he's like, all right, if you're trapped, I'll get trapped too. If you insist.
It's an extreme lesson in patience
Mhm.
because the payoff is huge, but you really do have to be like, I don't know what my day is going to be. I'm doing what I'm doing, and we'll see how long it takes. And to set a trap, you're not like going after and manhandling the dogs. You're setting a trap and doing it a way that keeps them as safe as possible and keeps them from that additional anxiety and stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to have a really big heart for this whole deal in general, and also the patience to go ahead and just sit there and wait.
Well, and look at some of the captures you've done that have taken weeks. I mean, some of them where the animals elude our trapper team. Literally, they have to spend the first couple weeks figuring out a pattern that the animal is doing, because they can't even set a trap accurately until they understand that pattern. And at the same time, hope the animal doesn't get eaten or run over by a car while they're doing all this. And then after they set the pattern, I mean, what was that one that went back to the Verde Valley area?
Ladybug.
Yeah, and that was 3.5 weeks in the making, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was
Talk
from
about
one side
patience.
of Prescott Valley to the other. She traveled 15 miles within 12 hours. One time we were tracking her. Most of the time, they're not settled people, good, well-meaning community members, they're trying to capture the animal, but they end up chasing them. So there's a difference with, hand catching where, you could be patient, lure it in. But then chasing is a whole nother story, and that's absolutely dangerous to do. If dog doesn't come to you, just let it go, because you could chase it into traffic. But yeah, she went 15 miles round trip within 12 hours, and we were tracking her the whole way. But we have a map guy, Philip, and he creates a map and he pins all the sightings, and then we look at the map and we see if there's a routine. And then if there's a routine, we're able to get a trap in there on the paths that they're taking.
What is the
Talk about the
primary?
evolution of this, like where it started. Like, I just want to go pick up a dog.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, now we got
That's simple.
trappers, we
Yeah.
got mapping, we got
Yeah.
pinging. Oh my gosh, it's insane.
What is the one thing, if you could isolate, like, what do you need? What does the Yavapai Humane Trappers Society, like, what do you need? What's the missing link you think to make this process more efficient, better, stronger, any of it?
Land.
Land. Okay.
I mean,
That's not
I'm
where
sure-
I was going, so that's awesome to know.
Well,
What
yeah,
is-
I think the reason why is because I was obviously talking with you guys prior to this. Where do you house the animals that are in need of adoption? Well, you guys have an actual great thing going right now where people are housing these
Right.
animals.
Foster
until they-
based, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you're finding foster parents. I mean, hence it's kind of what it is, and they're housing those dogs or cats or whatever until you guys are able to find a loving home for them, or they just hang out in the place that they're at. I mean, until then.
But there's often a gap between when the trapping team finds the animal and when we find a foster. And what do we do? If we had a holding compound to get to know the animal, to do a basic medical and get them stabilized, it buys time to then transition from lost animal to foster.
I think it also creates an animal ready to be adopted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
get them ready.
any child, person, animal going through a situation where they're lost and then found, and then they almost have like a little PTSD where it's like,
Of
what do you
course.
want? What do you
Yeah.
want
No,
from
they
me?
need
I'm not going to behave.
They're gonna
I don't
they
know
need to
what's happening
decompress.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing is decompress, and especially if they've been out for a while. A lot of owner dogs that became lost, that's been out there for a while. We do recommend decompressing for 2 or 3
Quarantine.
days.
I work with Miss Kitty's Cat House. My daughter wanted to find a way to be involved in the community with the animals, and that's actually hard. She's 13, so that's actually kind of hard. There's not a whole lot of avenues. But Miss Kitty's Cat House, as long as I was willing to participate as well, we go there every week, and she takes care of the however many 20-something cats that are there, and she has a responsibility, and they have a great system. But again, they have land. They have a home that was donated to the society, to the cats. The cats run the ship, except for the volunteers that come in. And it sounds like if anybody out there, hey guys, if anybody out there had the wherewithal or desire to even give a portion of the space to properly help something like that would be beneficial.
And that brings me to another a question. How do you know the people? I mean, how do you find the foster? I'm going to say foster parents for these animals. I mean, how do you know who they are? How do you find them? Is there any way that anybody could come actually on and sign up for this? And how does that process go?
Well, on our website, of course, we have the free adopt form that anyone can fill out and just hit send, and it gets routed to us. And we have the foster forms, and that allows us to know the family and kind of match the animal. If they're senior, we don't want to give them a little zippy, 4-pound
Here's
teacup poodle.
Cujo. Don't worry
Yeah.
about Cujo. He just
Yeah.
runs on
Right.
weekends.
Yeah. So it gives us a chance to match the foster family with the animal who needs help. And
So
then-
that is on your website, right? 'Cause
Right.
that's where I'm going right now.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen, it's on the
Yeah.
bottom of the ticker right there. You guys can have the Gmail account and also the website.
there
But
should be
also-
3 bars on
So-
the top.
Okay, so I'm here. So there's home, about, adopt, and foster. So you just
Right.
hit the foster tab here, and you can actually fill out this form to become a foster, and you guys do the rest of the work to
Right.
vet the person, make
Right.
sure that their landlord's going to allow them animals so they don't end up in the same kind of problem or predicament.
Right.
Now, this is to foster. Is it maybe a male? Is there an option to foster to adopt? Is that
Absolutely.
something people can
One-
do? Because
Often
you know.
we'll put in we'll be pulling litters, and we do have a criteria that you can pick the one of a litter and adopt that one, but there's enough literature out there that advises litter mates can fight, or one will dominate and one will become recessive all their life. So it's right on our foster form where we guide them, take your pick, you may have one, but the others we put up for adoption, just to avoid that crisis as they become adults.
I just thought of the coolest thing ever. I mean, it's probably out there right now. So you know how Tinder has the ability to be like, I'm looking for a partner. You're like, swipe left, swipe right. Do we have a thing for adopted animals like that?
Somebody needs who's an app builder out there. We need a dating app. For
Yeah,
dogs
and you guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
You guys heard it here first?
You want dogs. We're looking
I'll
to
be like-
match the homes.
I'll be like, swipe left, swipe right. I mean, no,
Good
not that dog.
personality, is really pretty.
Yeah, bouncy.
House trained.
There are national databases, and we subscribe to Pet Finder, which is a national database, and we put all our pets on
I
Pet
s-
Finder.
I just
Does it
saw
have a
that on your
swipe left or
website.
swipe right? That's all
It's
I'm asking
missing that. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to build that into it. But it gives a bio. It talks about the animal
doing
and
it.
their needs.
for. We're doing it.
Yeah,
Okay, you're gonna do the match. You're gonna be the animal matchmaker.
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and build the
I
app.
mean,
so
there
go
might
ahead and find-
actually be an avenue for that.
So we're going. I'm just gonna look it up right now. I know we don't have time for this, but I'm gonna ask if there's a Tinder for animals.
It's animal. I like animal matchmaker.
Animal
Trophy
match.
wife. No.
Animal.
Dog.
Animal
That's a good
matchmaker.
idea.
I mean,
I don't think there is. I think we have something. Wait. No, the Animal Master Connect. Nope, that's a game. No. Match animal. Nope.
okay, we come up with brilliant ideas every week in case
Connect
you
that.
wonder.
Okay,
We really
no,
do.
we're gonna have to make this Tinder for
Go.
animals. Let me see
Yeah.
if Tinder for animals. Let's go. Wait, one more time.
Animal matchmaker. It's literally like, yeah.
Let's see. Tinder for animals. Tinder. Nope. Dig the dog person's dating app. Dig the dog's person's dating
So
app.
the field is wide open for you.
Match dog. Play dates and friends. Ooh, there's a match dog where you can get like, hey, you got a dog? I got a dog. Let's go play. All right. Pet Finder. That's right.
Yeah,
What you're talking
apparently
about.
he needs something to do. Just
Bumble.
in case anybody wondered, he needs something to do.
Uh,
Bumble for dogs.
Hinge. Bumble for
They
dogs.
call it doggle.
Is it Bumble? Doggle? Let's go. We're going. Yes. I got something that one. You know what? Just for the others' sake of the cause, because I love the squirrel. I thought that there should have been a business where people could go ahead and be like, "Oh, dude, can I go ahead and take you to the dog masseuse?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be the dog masseuse." Where all I do is just pet the dog.
I mean, there's got to be dog
For a low, low
walking.
price.
Is there not an Uber for walking dogs?
Yeah, there is. There actually is. Ceci found it, and she was like this. She goes, "Oh, did you know that there's an actual dog walker app where you can go ahead and go on your app and you look for the dog walker, and the dog walker comes to your house and says, hey, I'm here to walk your dog."
It's
Yeah,
like
they do
there
have
was like a
business
Sitter
people.
City. I did commercials back for a while, and Sitter City was one of them where you could find your babysitter. It was like a dating app for babysitters.
What are we gonna call this? Tinder for dogs. Dog Tinder.
Doggle.
Doggle.
No,
Doggle because you're on the goggle. Lady, doggle.
you said Bumble.
Anyways.
You said Bumble. I said Doggle.
Bumble Doggle. Anyways, we'll come up with that answer real quick. Tell everybody how to find you guys. Where is the best way to go ahead and keep in touch?
Yavapai Humane Trappers Animal Search and Rescue on Facebook, and our website is yavapaihumanetrappers.org. You could contact us on any of those too, and always reach out if you have questions. We're more than willing to help.
That is amazing.
Yeah, such a great organization. And if you guys like our guests and you like the learning about various types of involvement within our community, please like, subscribe, join us again for Bob Chronicles.
The Bob.
Here at the Back Alley Wine Bar.
At the Bob. We're at the Bob, guys. Hence the name Back Alley Wine Bar. So now you know what they call this place. The
Yeah, and don't forget about this because it's actually really good.
People. Okay, with that being said, I'm out of here. You guys have a great afternoon. And when you guys see this, make sure you like, comment, and share, just like she said. And make sure you subscribe right there on that YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. With that, I'm out of here.
Thank you for joining us, Bob.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.